a pregnant trans man. It was incredibly difficult socially. I had been on testosterone gel and estrogen blockers for about 9 months or so before I felt pregnant. A lot of people really kind of pressured me to terminate against my wishes. All I knew is that that was my baby.
During the pregnancy, Ash and I really bonded over the prospect of having Ronan.
We got some really disturbing messages. This child would be better off never being born. Lock these animals up, away from kids and normal society. Hey, Roni Macaroni. Let's go. Can I brush your hair? Oh, such beautiful curls, Ronan. Most beautiful baby in the whole wide world. The great Princess of P and all the wisdom she has for me. See, Dancy, gotta dance. Can Daddy hug you? Since early childhood, had a very early diagnosis back when we were still on a different DSM, Diagnostic and Statistical Manual, back when it was GID, or Gender Identity Disorder. I have had some kind of gender dysphoria as long as I can remember, and I transitioned medically and socially to save my life and obtain a far better quality of life. I have been on hormones since 2019, and I have had top surgery. I had been on testosterone gel and estrogen blockers for about 9 months or so before I felt pregnant. I was grieving a failed marriage and an infertility diagnosis. I coped by partying. It was any other hookup, nothing odd about it. I had no symptoms whatsoever. I don't even know why I took a test, to be honest. And what do you know, it lit up like a Christmas tree. I wasn't sure what to do at first, but I knew I loved her and I wanted her. A lot of people really kind of pressured me to terminate against my wishes because there are birth defects associated with testosterone use, and we didn't know the amount of exposure she had had at the time. Luckily, we caught it early at about 5 weeks, treated me as high risk, and went in for ultrasounds. I felt like a medical guinea pig or an alien creature in a glass cage half the time. I'm as pro-choice as they come, but just people assuming that I automatically didn't want my pregnancy really hurt. There was a lot of social shaming, pressure, etc. I mean, yeah, being pregnant and having to stop all my medications did hurt. It caused an amount of dysphoria I don't wish to disclose, quite frankly. But all I knew is that I loved that baby. I had made a deal with her biological dad because he wasn't ready to have a child. And I believe that bodily autonomy extends to him as well.
Jordan, have you ever dated a trans man before?
Before Ash, no, I had not. I met him through Facebook. I saw one of his posts that he was having a rough time with his divorce and his transition. He was in a time of crisis, and I reached out to him.
We actually met in person on his birthday in 2020. Kind of became romantic almost immediately.
I did not know until we started talking that Ash was pregnant, but I did not have any personal hang-ups when it came to raising a child.
Getting close to Jordan throughout my pregnancy, albeit a really unusual one, it was like rain in a desert, to be honest.
I am a private person and I'm somewhat socially withdrawn, so I never really expected to have a stable relationship that lasted very long or turned out as well as things have turned out, let alone having a daughter. So this has all been a really pleasant surprise.
Hey, Mom. It's Nene.
My mother, Melody, this did come as a bit of a surprise to her.
I'm fairly conservative for my own life. I don't judge other people though. When someone who tells you something like that definitely has caused some trauma in their life, it's your job as a human to put your listening ears on rather than give your opinion of what you think of it, and show compassion and reassure them that that hasn't damaged your relationship, which was a new relationship with them. As a parent, you pray that who your child loves will love them back and will treat them well. That's what you want. And so far I've seen that. So we're good.
What kind of judgment of the two do you face from other people?
We got some really disturbing messages. I was like, oh, let me adopt your child. Can you sign the papers? I'm like, ma'am, she's not for adoption. One of the most disturbing comments was, this child would be better off never being born. Why are these people allowed to reproduce? Why isn't there institution to lock these animals up away from kids and normal society? If I could tell people who want to get nasty about my situation anything, I would rather be judged by the content of my character and the actions I took out of love than some teeny tiny little detail. What makes a family healthy to me is a love and a commitment. My family is my life. I'm paying my bills, raising my kid, pretty average and unextraordinary, all things considered.